Good morning, everybody. CJ goes live on this beautiful Wednesday, May 15th. It is a beautiful day out. It's like 65 degrees. So perfect, you know. Last night, didn't even have to sleep with the windows open. But today is one of those unfortunate days that as a landlord, sometimes you get caught and you have to do this. Today's eviction day. And I've got two evictions this morning, 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. on a couple of tenants. One of them has been a very bad tenant for a long time. The other one is kind of a newer tenant, only about 4 or 5 months, and fell on a hard time, lost his job in the union, had to start selling things, sell his quad just to pay his rent. And he's just tapped. He's just out. And, you know, I feel bad that we have to go through the court system, but sometimes that's a necessary evil. So the way the evictions work in PA, originally we came from Florida, so it's a little bit different. But here in PA, if your tenant doesn't pay, then your recourse is to give them a 10-day notice. Now, I give my tenants until the 5th to pay. If they don't pay by the 6th, if I don't get the rent, I go and I post the door. And I put a 10-day notice to tell them either pay or what they call quit. Quit means to leave. So I've done that with both of these tenants. One of these tenants we've had on a rent to own for a long time. Once again, fell on some hard times. We've been trying to help her and the family out, but there just comes a point where you can't have a heart and you have to just do your business. You know, it sucks, but that's the way it goes in real estate. So after the 10-day notice is posted, they can pay me or we can go to court. So I go down and I file in the court. Average filing fee is about anywhere from $150 to $225 is what you're going to spend just to go and register with the court. So the court can notify them that they have to pay and that they have to come to court if they don't pay. So that process usually takes about 15 days, 16, 17 days. It depends on the court. Depends on how many people are being evicted in that same time period by other landlords. Once the court case is heard by the judge, she'll rule for, usually not the tenant, because the tenant hasn't paid. They have no proof that they're going to pay. They'll usually rule for the landlord. Now, the tenant does have some recourse. They don't just have to accept this. They can appeal. They have 10 days to appeal, which sucks when they do that because they know that they didn't pay the rent. So why are you appealing? They're trying to get some extra time. So what I suggest is hiring a lawyer most times. If you've never done this, if you've never done an eviction, hire an attorney. Get someone to help you. I've never hired an attorney. I've probably done, in 20 years, probably 100 plus cases of evictions, and I've never lost one, not one time. Actually, yeah, I did hire an attorney one time. I did a long time ago, and it cost me so much money that it wasn't worth it. I would suggest, though, if you're new, that you at least seek some legal counsel until you know how to do this yourself. Because if you go to court and, you know, they could get you in a technicality, like two people's names on the lease, you misspell one of the names wrong, or you leave one of the names off, then your court case is trash. You lose, and you have to start over again. So be very diligent. You have to make sure your paperwork is filled out. That's the number one thing. And like I said, I hate doing these evictions, but you know what? You got to have a heart when you're in this business. It's got to be business, or else people will step all over you. So I'm heading there now. I'm not going to be long, and I'm going to come out and I'm going to give the verdict and let everybody know what transpires from this point. Because if they appeal, then I have to go and get the constable I have to pay him $150, $200 to come out there after the 10 days and forcibly remove the tenants. Now, one of these tenants, I know for sure, their house is a hoard house. There's a billion things inside of it. When we went to go do the inspection at the beginning of the year, we couldn't even get into the house. We couldn't get into the basement because boxes piled so high, junk, cat litters and dog poops and kids in there. And code enforcement wanted to call the CYS. And I told them, no, that I think maybe this is just a bad day. So hopefully they've cleaned up their situation, because nobody wants to see kids get torn away from their families, especially over an eviction situation. So I'm gonna go in. I'll be there in about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do my court case with both of these folks, and hopefully neither of them show, so it's easy. But I'll be back soon. Voila! The magic of video editing. And we're back. CJ Goes Live. So, just got out of court. I had the daily double today, by the way. Boom. And won both my cases. I just had to tell an interesting story, because one of these ones was real fun. One of them was real cool. Met me in the parking lot. He said, I just want to work it out with you, no problem. I said, I'm still going into court with you. You're going to owe me this $165 in court costs. So we went in. It's like 2 seconds. He's going to pay. I'm going to let him stay. But the other couple, here's what they said. Now, landlords, I'm sure you've heard all kinds of excuses, right? But you haven't heard this one yet. So they get into the court and they say, Judge, we are blindsided. We had no idea that we were being evicted. We've been sending our payments, and we have proof that we've been sending our payments every month. But the landlord has been sending them back to us. And the judge says, do you have proof here? And she says, no, I have to go to my bank. I can drop it off later. And the judge says, you knew that you had to come to court like 2 weeks ago. Why wouldn't you bring that proof? And she says, is any of this true? And I said, Judge, do you really think I would send back the rental payments? I said, on top of that, they've destroyed the house. I'm going to have $20,000 in repairs. Some things that people come up with are just unbelievable. So today's the 15th. These tenants have until the 29th to get out unless they appeal, and that'll give them 10 more days. So it'd be like the 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th of June when they're actually out. So, landlords, I just ran into a landlord, who's a newer landlord, maybe about 4 or 5 years has been landlording. And he asked me how long I've been doing. I said, over 20 years. He said, you don't have an attorney? I said, no, I represent myself, pro se. So he came in with his attorney. Guess what? I'm walking out. He just lost his case. Proper paperwork was not filed. File your paperwork properly, especially when you're going for an eviction. So today's a great day. It's a winner. It's a winner. And finally going to have these two losers out of my hair and put some good tenants in that will actually appreciate the apartments that we have. Anyway, this is CJ Goes Live, Pittsburgh Landlord Secrets. Like and subscribe, comment. If you're a landlord and you have a story to tell, I want to hear it. We all want to hear it. Thanks for watching. CJ Goes Live.